All great acts start with one small idea. The welfare and success of our society is built from small inventions. Small acts and innovations can have a great impact on your surroundings and the people around you. All you need is the right place to grow. We at Kayani University of Applied Sciences are building and creating the future. Our versatile campus guarantees that you will not be alone with your ideas. Let the unique nature of Kainu inspire you to refine and grow your dream with the power of cooperation. Sustainable development and meaningful connections in the digital world are our core values which we show in everyday action. Commonality and networking are key traits we uphold to keep your ideas alive and growing. Our caring community is always there to support your success story. We are here to help develop and foster your ideas as you move towards your goals. We believe each of our students' unique path is meaningful. We are the forerunners of personalized, innovative teaching, and professionals of the future are passing through our doors each and every year. Come reach new heights at Kayani University of Applied Sciences.
Good afternoon and welcome to listen to the degree introductions by Kayani University of Applied Sciences. My name is Kirsi Sievers and I work here as the head of the International Bachelor's Degrees. And during this session, we will introduce you to the bachelor's degrees in international business and esports business. And we will also have an introduction to the other English taught degrees that we have here that will come up on Thursday at 1 p.m. So then we will introduce you to the bachelor's degrees in tourism and sports and leisure management. And you will be able to see and follow these introductions here in Twitch for the next 2 weeks. And after that, you can find them on our own YouTube channel with subtitles then. And during this presentation, you will be able to send any questions you may have using the chat option here in Twitch. And if you have an account, you can send the chat directly, but if you don't, no worries. You can still send the chat by using the Create Your Own Wish button under the stream. But so, today we're introducing the international business and esports business degrees, and I've got 2 of our students here with me. So, could you introduce yourselves? Who are you? Where do you come from? And what are you studying at KAMK?
Yeah, I'm Richard Withers. I'm originally from Ontario, Canada, and I'm studying esports business here at KAMK.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I'm originally from Ghana, but I've been living in Finland for 15 years.
Thank you. And could you explain a bit, why did you choose your current field of study? So, Paulina, why did you choose to study international business?
So I chose international business because I have like business ideas that I would like to operate. And with that one, I wanted like education for it. And before that, I used to be a practical nurse. So changing from practical nurse into international business is actually quite a huge thing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Now, Richard, why did you choose esports business?
I guess I've always been following the esports scene and the culture surrounding esports all my life. So when I came to Finland and I saw that esports business was an option to study here, it's not really, or at least at the time wasn't possible in Canada. So when I came here, it was a clear choice for me that I wanted to study that.
Okay, thank you. And well, obviously the reason why you chose KAMK was probably esports business.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Okay, that is quite clear. How about Paulina? Why did you choose to study business at KAMK?
So I used to live in Tampere, which is like the southern part of Finland. And from a big city to a small city, I actually wanted something like to be in a quiet area and like to get a new environment and study like Finland much better.
Okay, yes. Well, that is certainly what you get in Kayani.
Yes.
It's a small town, quiet and peaceful place, so good for studies. Well, this autumn has been a bit different one in regard to the studies, as many international students have had to start their studies in their home countries, so they are studying online. But also our students here, you've been studying mostly online, partly on campus, and then again online. Could you tell me a bit how did you find the online studies? How has it been?
Very interesting because like you just have to be at home inside your apartment, and at the same time actually you could also be doing some other stuffs when you are on doing the online lectures, but also it has been quite like difficult because you are alone inside the house without having any social like life with any other students. So it's have like the positive and also the negative side.
Yeah, for me personally, I found it not as bad because I think we're lucky to be in the esports industry. So a lot of the activities that we're doing, events and such, are possible to be held online. So for me personally, it's given me a lot of time and opportunities to work on projects outside of the classroom and develop the more practical experience side. So it hasn't been, at least for esports business, that difficult to make the switch.
Mhm. Okay, well, that's good to hear. All right. If we talk talk a bit about the studies, then more. Can you tell us about bit more about the esports business? What does it mean, and what do you actually study?
Yeah, so I guess when people first hear that I study esports business, they think it's mainly focused on the playing itself, but at least here at Comp, it primarily focuses on all the business elements, similar to, I guess, even the international business degree, anything that you could think of in a company or a business, just with the, I guess, esports focus. So anything from marketing, event management, player contracts, the more legal side, anything that would help you pursue a career, yeah, including playing, but also outside, being a coach or a team owner, manager, things like that. It will help you with those. So I guess just primarily focusing on the business side, but we also have various coaching classes that help us improve our in-game abilities. So I guess it's a nice mix of both. We have great facilities here to play on, so we have the opportunity to improve our in-game ability, but also expand on the business side that will help us get careers outside of the game as well.
Okay, thank you. And Paulina, you study international business. What would you say are the things that you like the most in your studies?
Well, for me, I think like using the theory into practical. So, for example, we had some kind of like work that we did for a firm in Kayani. Like they produced protein bars. So I and one of the esports students had this. We made a research about how would it go when they import their stuff into Singapore. And then at the end of Singapore, we had like 10 students also doing like a research work in Singapore, and they made like this tasting for the protein bars and how much are Singaporeans like willing to pay for the bars in Singapore. So it's quite nice when you are using like what you have learned in the class and doing like putting it into theory.
Mhm. Yes, that's a very good practical example of the way how studies are and studying in an international
Yeah.
environment together with the international partners. Yeah. So both of the degrees are business degrees and provide different kinds of career opportunities in business environment, no matter if it's esports business or international business. Yeah. All right. So you already talked about, you both mentioned the projects and the practical aspect of the studies. Can you, Richard, tell us a bit about the projects that you've done in esports?
Yeah, at least for esports business, practical projects are a big part of our studies and what we do. We have a few courses that are totally dedicated to getting us practical hands-on experience. And myself and a lot of other students in the first and second years have been working on various projects throughout the year. Even with the COVID situation, we have the Kump Esports Club, which is a weekly club mainly on Fridays that we introduce the students at Kump to different games and have tournaments, things like that, viewing parties. So it's run by esports business students, and it's a weekly tournament series. We've hosted various events, like the a few weekends ago we had the Kump Esports Business CS:GO Championship, which was completely run by the students here, and it was streamed on Twitch with a few partners, and it was a CS:GO tournament with a €1,000 prize pool. We have students coaching various places. Some do it themselves through their own businesses. Some work with the Vocati esports facility. And there's a few other coaches. And let me think if I can think of a few others. But yeah, pretty much nearly all of the students have some sort of projects going on throughout the year because it's a big part of our classes. And from myself personally and from what I've heard from other students, it's a really enjoyable part and one we all appreciate because you can only get so much experience from reading books in the classroom. So it's really good to be able to, I guess, expand on that and gain the connections in the actual industry in Finland here.
Hmm. Exactly, yeah. So I think this is the main difference between studying in a university in Finland and studying in a university of applied sciences. That's the practical aspect of studies, what makes the universities of applied sciences different from universities. And I think these different kinds of projects and these working life connections give students great opportunities during the studies to create the networks that you need also after graduation. So that's a very good bonus for the students during their studies. Okay, so you are now on your second study year, Richard, and Paulina, you too.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's your second year. You will have a practical training coming up in your studies, not quite yet during the third year. But do you already know how it is in your program? How long the period is, and what can you do during the practical training? Or what would you like to do? What are your plans?
Well, it's 6 months, six 6 months.
5?
Yeah, 5 months like practical. So for me, I had a plan that I'll do like half of my practicals in one of the either European countries or back in Ghana, and I'll do the other parts in Finland. So I will be able to combine like two types of business work together and learn from both cultures, which is like quite nice and interesting. And also, I was thinking maybe to go into the import and exports supply chain management part, or then leadership, since I want to have my own business.
Hmm. Yeah, that sounds good.
I think ours is also 6 months, and my passion mainly lies in events and things like that. So I'll probably be reaching out to a few. There's lots of great esports events here in Finland, like Assembly, Vectorama, uh, Geostage, things like that. Local is or kind of local within a few hours of Kajaani. There's a few large esports LAN events that go on each year. So I'd definitely be interested in working with them at least for a portion. But as she mentioned, I think it's good that we don't always have to do our practical training at one place for the full period or in one location. If you do want to expand your horizons, I guess, and go outside Finland or back to your home country or wherever, you could do a portion of it here, a portion of it in a different location. So at least I like how the flexibility that gives.
Yeah, that's true. So the official length of the practical training is 5 months. So it's quite a big part of the studies. And the idea is that the students will be working in a company in tasks related to the field of studies. And this is one option where the students can actually broaden their knowledge in certain areas. So those who want to know more about marketing, they of course find the tasks related to marketing and can be HRM or anything, whatever you are mostly interested in. So it's a good way to find your specialization also with the help of practical training. And as Paulina mentioned, it's really nice that the students have the option to go abroad also, and you also, Richard, brought it up. So we help the students finding also places abroad if they want to do their practical training outside Finland. So that is one option as well. And it is also possible to go for a student exchange during your studies, but you didn't do that yet, at least.
No,
Yes.
not personally, but I know at least a few of my classmates this year are going to the UK to also, they have an esports degree there, so they're going to do an exchange there. And I think there's a few in South Korea as well,
Yes.
or Japan.
Yeah. So we have partners all over the world in a lot of different countries. So there's also a variety of good options and good partner universities to choose from. Obviously, this year has been a bit difficult to go for exchange, but hopefully that will be different again next year. Okay. Is there something that you would like to comment on the way how the studies are here compared to if you've heard of different countries, or what do you think is best?
I guess,
Or best with the studies here at KAMK in general?
yeah, before I came to Comp, I studied in Canada at a university for advertising and marketing communications. So I guess I can compare it to that specifically. At Comp, it's a lot more practical focused and a lot more, as it is a smaller school. You get the connections with the staff here, and you're able to, I guess, have more freedom to work on projects and be supported by the staff here because there's not as many students. So each student is treated as special and unique. So they're able to pursue things that they want outside of the classroom as well.
Well, I think I can compare mine also to the universities in Ghana. So, or not only in Ghana, but in Africa actually, because I know like in Africa, the students and the teachers may not be like that close. So in Finland and in camp actually, it's very nice. Like you'll be able to, you can go freely to the teacher to ask for advice, and also like if you are not even able to like submit your work on time, you can also like talk to them and they can give you like extra time to be able to finish your project or your work like that you need to submit to them. And I think it's quite nice because camp is such a small university, and when you compare camp and maybe some of the universities in Helsinki, they are quite big. So it's like they have thousands of students there, and in camp you always do like project work with other students, maybe the ones in the engineering part, or the sports and laser students, or the tourism students. So it's quite nice to know like each others and to be able to do like such a great work, because it is a globalization. And in the business world, you don't only work with only the people from your field, you work with people also from other fields.
That's a good point. We are located in one single campus,
Yeah.
which makes it also easier for us to collaborate with the other degrees and the students from other fields. Yes, okay. And you also brought up flexibility in the studies, and because we are rather small, so it makes it easy for us to be more flexible and offer the students different kinds of study paths also. I think, Paulina, you are combining studies from different years, isn't that
Yeah.
right? So you are doing a bit of your own
Yeah.
path. How is that going?
It's quite nice and interesting. This year, in the beginning of the year, I took some classes from their marketing course. So we did some postal, and also we did learn how to do the um, to edit pictures, and that was very interesting and nice when you are a very creative person. So it has been quite nice and awesome.
Okay, nice. All right. If we talk about the how to apply to these English taught programs, the application period is just around the corner, so it already starts on the 7th of January and runs until the 20th, so it's really close. And we normally arrange entrance exams in different countries, also abroad, and then also, of course, in Finland as well. But this year or next spring, we will arrange the entrance exams online and then on campus here in Finland, in Kajani. Do you remember how the entrance exams were when you applied? What did they include? The exam is the same for both in business and in esports business. So,
So in mine, we had actually like some mathematical exercises, and then we had this interview, which was in a group. So we had like 4 students in the group, and then we had the theory parts, which they were asking some, if I remember correct, so it was something about Denmark in my exam, but it was like something related to international business and business, like in all. Which and the interview wasn't that, even though I felt like some butterflies in my stomach, but it wasn't that bad. So if you are brave and you really want, you just have to apply for it.
Yeah, ours was similar, I guess. I think it was a while ago, so I don't remember that well, but we were provided with material, some reading material, a few months beforehand, and then we had to study it. And then during the exam, we were questioned on the material that we received. And similarly, we had the group discussions where we were just provided with a topic and put into small groups, and we just had to discuss the topic. But yeah, it wasn't too difficult. And I guess something that surprised me at least is, and something that you could note if you're applying to esports business, the content isn't necessarily related to esports itself. It's, as you said, it's the same as the international business content, so it's not related to esports. So if you're expecting it to be questions about your esports knowledge, it's not that. It's different. So I think it's just generally about business in general, and yeah.
yeah, that's right. So that's an example of how the exam can be. So normally it includes the pre-reading material that you have to study in advance. There can be an essay based on the article or the material that you read. Can also be multiple choice questions based on the article. Then there'll be the mathematics and logic thinking section. And then there'll be an interview. And now it depends. In some years it can be a group discussion, some years it can be individual interviews. And yeah, that varies a bit. But yeah, that's generally how the exam is. All right. Anything else that you would like to bring up to the applicants? Why has it been a good choice for you to come to KAMK?
I guess outside of what we've already mentioned with the practical experiences that you get here, we also have great facilities. Right now, we're in the esports room. We have, I think, 24, 25 gaming PCs at our disposal. And I guess another highlight of it being a smaller school, at least from what I've heard from students of other esports degrees in other countries, with their esports room, they have to book it out months in advance, and it's quite difficult to get your hands on it when you're not hosting events. But for us, we're in here almost all the time between classes, playing and studying, things like that. So it's more like a community hub where we're able to interact with other students and the esports business students rather than something you'd have to book in advance. So it's a big highlight for me, the community here that we've had with the esports club and everything, and how this room is able to provide us a headquarters for our degree and other degrees to play games and just be with people of similar enjoyments of esports and gaming.
Sounds good.
I also think like not only about camp, but as Kayani as a city is nice, and if you like your peace and you want a very sporty and a very like a forest environmental and stuff like that, so it will be a very good choice to choose Kayani for being outside, like how do you say, the country, not the countryside, but something almost like that. So I think it's a very great choice. It has been actually for me, so I would recommend it for people to choose camp if you want your peace.
Yes. All right, good. But I think that's it for our presentation today. Thank you for watching. And remember to join us again on Thursday at 1 p.m. for tourism and sports and leisure management.